Hello and welcome to the Brand and Flow podcast. I'm your host and guide, Kuru Romar, and in this podcast we'll talk about how you can transform your business into a brand your customers won't be able to resist, as you will get to know how to stand out, attract the right people, and stay in their mind by creating a feeling, an experience, a strong reputation for your business. With our weekly episodes, we want to turn you into a brand leader for you to know which actions you need to take to build and grow your brand consistently and passionately. So are you ready to brand and flow to make your business grow? Let's go. Great that you tuned in for the 12th episode of the Brand and Flow podcast. Today we'll talk about the elements of value and how you are able to use that framework to define the value you offer to your customers with your business. Now, generally, our customers and us as consumers, when we take a purchasing decision, we generally compare the price that is asked for a certain solution and the value we think that this solution will bring into our life. And when we think that the value exceeds the price that is asked for, we decide to buy it, or when it's equal, right? But when it's lower, we think that it's not valuable and we won't take that purchasing decision. Now, what's important for you is to proactively understand what value you're offering your customers so you are able to shape their perceptions and make sure to influence their purchasing decisions. And the elements of value are a great tool that you can use. Generally, the elements of value were developed by the consulting firm Bain & Company, and they were based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, if you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's a pyramid that shows how we as humans are motivated to take certain actions and how we move along in our decision and what we do. Now we want to go a bit into Maslow's hierarchy of needs to then go deeper into the elements of value so you're able to use these frameworks for your business and to define what value you bring into your customer's life. Now, Maslow's hierarchy of needs generally is a pyramid with 5 different layers. Now, at the bottom layer, we have the basic elements of needs, like, for example, food and sleep. Once those needs are fulfilled, we're moving up in the pyramid, in the hierarchy, and we go into the safety needs. We need to have a home and we need to gain money, right? Once those needs are fulfilled, we move up in the layer and are trying to build connections. So we're finding a community and wanting to identify ourselves with others. But once we're able to be in a community and once that need is fulfilled, we want to be different. And then we move up in the hierarchy into the esteem needs. So we want to find out how we're able to differentiate ourselves and who we are, right? And that's at the highest layer. Well, we come to the self-actualization, which simply means that this represents who you want to be, whom you're aiming to be, the goal that you have in your life, and who you want to be. And at the peak of the pyramid, we are able to get creative and relax. And once the lower parts are not fulfilled, we're not able to move forward up to being relaxed and creative and, just focusing on who we are and how we're able to get there. So you see that all those needs are built up on top of it and we are prioritizing them, right? And this is not generally a framework that was developed for general human needs. But what Bain & Company did is they turned this into more a business-specific point of view with the elements of value. So the elements of value are a great tool for business owners to find out what value they're able to offer with their products and services and generally with what their business represents. Now, in this case, it's a pyramid as well, but we have only 4 layers. So imagine 4 layers in a pyramid. At the bottom level, we have the functional elements of value, like, for example, reducing costs or saving time. One level above, we have the emotional elements of value, like, for example, reducing anxiety or providing entertainment. The next layer includes life-changing elements of value, like, for example, motivation or self-actualization. And at the peak, we have social impact. So what are businesses doing to have an impact not just on their customers, but on the environment, on everyone that is involved, and on an impact that their customers care about? Now, the examples that I mentioned are only a few, because the elements of value include in total 30 elements that you are able to use to find out what your customers desire and how you're able to fulfill those values with your business. And you would find elements that are more inwardly focused, like, for example, saving time or being motivated. And then there are elements that are more outwardly focused, like, for example, looking more attractive or having the possibility to have access to certain people or generally have access to something. So it's more on how your customer interacts with the external world. If you look at all these layers, you need to make sure that you're able to fulfill as many values as possible, because the more value you are able to provide to your customers, the more valuable your business gets for them, right? The more you're able to connect with them, build trust with them, the more they see why they need you in their life. But what it's important is that you always stay authentic. You shouldn't come up with certain values and promise that you're fulfilling them and you're not, right? So try to make sure to find out what kind of values your products fulfill, what kind of values your customers are asking for, and what kind of values your business generally is able to provide them, so you are able to be more focused in what they need and how you're able to provide it to them. Now that we're clear about the elements of value, let's find out how big brands are using it. For example, Netflix. Now, if we check Netflix and what they're providing, and we go in the first layer, the functional elements of value, we can see that Netflix offers a variety of series, movies, documentaries, so of entertainment. And they simplify the process of watching it. They simplify how we're able to get entertained. We're able to binge watch every series. Besides of that, they offer a high quality of entertainment. So those are functional elements Netflix is using, which makes it interesting for us to watch Netflix. If we move up in the layer to the emotional values, we can definitely see that Netflix offers fun and entertainment. Netflix is something where we're able to relax or get educated, right? It's something that we're aspiring to just sit there and just, enjoy. Now, if we move one level higher, how is Netflix able to have an impact on our life? And that is through affiliation and belonging. We're watching certain series where we're able to identify our personality in it, or it helps us to connect with others. We talk about certain series and we see ourselves in the characters, or, we reject certain actions. So it helps us not just to belong and feel identified in the series or the film or whatever is portrayed, but as well as talk to others and socialize with others and find common topics to talk about, right? And if we move one level higher in the social impact, we can see that Netflix definitely has an impact on bringing certain cultures closer to us. We're able to watch certain different movies, documentaries, and series in other languages. So it stands for bringing us closer to different cultures and, educating us in certain topics as well. And I think you can see now how great the elements of value can be to simplify what value you're able to provide to your customers. So try it. And if you're interested in the elements of value, you can simply connect with me on Instagram or via email, and I'll send it over to you. Or you go on my website, brandandflow.com, where you're able to find the elements of value in the blog. I hope that this episode helped you to find out more about how you're able to define the value you're providing to your customers so you're able to own a profitable business. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and it was helpful for you. To provide you more insights and tips, I need your feedback. So please rate or leave a review. Connect with me. And if you know a passionate entrepreneur who would benefit from this